Hey y'all, I want to show you how to use the area model here to find binomials and trinomials. So an area model is this entire drawing with all the little alphabets and numbers and everything connected to it. Because a model is essentially like a representation or a drawing, and it's called area because I'm looking for the area. So this has 4 little baby areas right here. If this expanded into like 6 pieces, then I would have 6 areas I have to discover. And what I'm going to do with all my little baby areas that make this square, I'm going to find something called the final area. And in that final area, I can show you what is considered a binomial and a trinomial. So let's go through this. So I have to find, so in order to know what I'm going to write down in these boxes, I have to find width and I have to find height, right? So how do I know what's what? So your height is how tall you are. So that's up and down, right? Because if you're like a little person and you get your height measured at the doctor's office, that's up and down. That's height. Width goes this way. When you think of width, think about your waistline, you know? Some people are concerned about that kind of stuff. So when you think about width, think of W for waist, right? That goes left and right. That's how we typically measure our waistline. You put a measuring tape all the way around horizontally. So this is your width or your waist. This is your height or how tall you are. So that's essentially what we're doing. This is considered like a product, meaning we're going to multiply. When you see the word product in math, it means multiplying. So what does that mean? I'm going to multiply my width and my height. So what does that give me in the first area, the first giant box to my left? That's 2x times x, which gives me 2x squared, right? What about the second one? I have a 3 over here in my width, and then I have an x over here for my height. What does that give me? It gives me 3x. What about this next one in the second row? I have 2x up on the top for width, and then I have right here just a standard 2 for height. Well, that gives me 4x, because I'm just multiplying all this stuff together, right? Because with this, it's product and we're multiplying. What about this last little box? It looks a little bit different. I have a 3 here at the top for width, and then I have a 2 for my height. If this was a person, it would have a waist of 3 and it would have a height of 2. So what does that give me? Well, it gives me 6 because I'm multiplying. It's product. So I'm multiplying 3 times 2, which gives me 6. Cool. So I filled out the entire box. Those are my little areas. I have 4 areas. From this, I got to make something called final area. And it's pretty easy, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at my first box. Right, we're going from the biggest box to the smallest box. So I'm going to do 2x squared plus. It's going to always be plus, right? Unless it says otherwise. If this was like a negative or something, then we would switch it up. But all of these are pluses, so you have to be mindful of that. So I'm going to do 3x. Then I'm going to do plus 4x. And then I'm going to do plus 6x. I just listed all of them. I have 4 little areas. They're also called terms, right? This is a term, this is a term, this is a term, this is a term. A term is anything between plus and minus signs and between equal signs. Like if I had something that said like 7 out here, this would also be a term. So I would have 5 terms in this expression. That's what I would call it, an expression, right? So I have 4 terms. So here's the next thing. There's 4 of them. I'm supposed to have binomials and trinomials. This is 4. So bi means 2, right? Tri means 3. So I have to find like terms. These are similar. I don't have another piece here or term that has x squared. I don't have this repeating. I don't have just like a naked 6 repeating. The only thing I have repeating is just like those 2 x's, so I combine those. So that becomes x 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. Right? This is my final area. And it's a trinomial because I have 3 terms. How do I know I have 3 terms? It's because I have 1, 2, 3 pieces of information between the plus and minus signs, or an equal sign, in fact. So anytime there's a little sign, it's called an operator. Every time I have a plus or minus operator or an equal sign, all that stuff between it tells me how many terms I have. So I have 3 of them. So this is my trinomial for 3. What about binomial? Well, you gotta do that FOIL thing. Remember, first, outer, inner, last? So then we start putting those together. So let me fix that. That's not really that nice looking. How do I know what goes here? Let's see. I could do a 2x. I can pull that out. And then this can give me an x. And then, let's see, I need to make sure the last part is 6. So I could do a 2 here and a 3 here. Right? Let's try it out. So first is 2x squared, right? Outer is 4x, inner is 3x, and last is 6x. And I got these two, 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. Cool, it checks out, right? This is my binomial. This right here is my binomial. Binomial. So my trinomial is right here. Trinomial. My binomial is right here. It's just whatever's in here, because this is considered a term because I put it in a parenthesis, right? If those parentheses didn't exist, then it's not a binomial, because a binomial is just going to be 2 terms. And if you put something in a parentheses, this whole thing becomes 1 term, this whole thing becomes 1 term. But if you look really closely, if you look super close, you'll see our binomial is exactly what's up here and exactly what's up here. So a shortcut, or even a way to check your work, is to just say my binomial is every single thing across my area model, everything on the top. And then everything going all the way down. That can also be my binomial, which happens to also be the math I did below. So this is kind of getting messy, but just to kind of confirm, my area model is the little picture that I get, or I have to draw sometimes. The areas, with an S, the areas, are those 4 little tiny boxes that I drew inside, and I wrote all those little things where I wrote 2x squared, 3x, 4x squared, and 6. My final area is when I put all those pieces together, and then my binomial is when I took just the top part and the bottom part and I put them in parentheses and I made it into 2 pieces, binomial. And then of course a trinomial is also my final area. And I hope this helped, and I have a sticker shop if anyone's interested. Okay, thanks guys, bye.